Hey guys, welcome back to I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. In the last episode we did the story. There's really not much to say because not a lot of stuff happening, but we're just having fun playing. It's such a relaxing game, especially to relax when I'm off work and I don't have to think too much when playing it. So if you do enjoy this episode, remember to like and subscribe and let me know how your playthrough went with this game. Just gonna click continue here. It's rainy. We did have someone who wanted to speak. Hello. You and Annie are playing a garrison yard with sticks chasing each other around pretending to sword fight. These adult training nearby are patient with you as long as you don't near the target dummies, but sometimes you stray too close. Watch out, Annie! One of the security personnel calls out to Annie, as Annie bumps onto her. You can stay behind the fence. See, they call her Annie too. Because an enemy, I'm not calling her that. It's an enemy, she retorts as both of you retreat to the safe distance. She doesn't like called Annie. Don't tell her that. Don't tell her I called her that. An enemy I'm not calling her an enemy, because that's just no. Annie throws her stick to the ground and pouts. Just because everyone else shortens their name, it doesn't mean I have to do it. I like being an enemy. But having an enemy is kind of cool and mysterious. Having a call sign, you know? What would you call me, Ophelia? Nemmie! I like Nemmie. Come on, Nemmie. Nemmie tilts her head. Huh, I've never heard that one before. She mimes swinging the sword a few times. Nemmie, Nemmie. Yeah, Calm calls me that sometimes. At least it's not Annie. Okay, we'll call her Nemmie. Nemmie picks up the discarded stick. Now, she says, brandishing it at you, prepare to defeat by a mighty Nemmie. Spend the next hour sparring with Nemmie in the yard. Okay, Nemmie, we'll call you Nemmie now instead of Annie, now that you've proclaimed your hatred towards that name. Organization and perception. Where's our perception at? It's high. I think we need to come over here. I don't know how to get empathy. It's in humanities, right? Let's here creativity and persuasion, but we'll do that. Stay humanities again. You should have known better, Tangent, you hear as you walk past the laboratory. Curious, you listen at the door. Chief Engineer Instant sighs. I know you meant well, but your presumptions has cost us 3 months of work. You can't simply look at the experiment and change the parameters to your liking. Getting results is not the same as doing good science. Your findings, however scientifically interesting, are useless to us without sound methodological underpinnings. Tange responds in a more subdued than you've ever heard her. I'm sorry, Chief Engineer, she says, mumbling, looking down the floor. I recognize the error of my ways. I should hope so. I'll expect you in the lab first thing tomorrow morning, and I will personally supervise your work resetting the experiment. You flatten against the wall and instant breezes past you, bravely waiting the second look as she barely giving you a second look as she strides down the hall. You book your head inside the laboratory, where Tange scowls and wipes her eyes. What do you want? It'll be better the second time around. Tange nods. You're right. The first experiment was plagued with inefficiencies. That's why I changed it in the first place. The new experiment, I can eliminate those inefficiencies from the start. Thank you, Ophelia. You may have saved me 3 months of work. Losing data was my fault. I wanted to prove that I'm not a little kid from biology class. That I'm ready to work hard and really make a great discovery. Dr. Instance has always been there for me when I was a kid, and now, with my mother gone, she is the only doll in this colony who sees what I could become. She believes that I can be better than what I am. It's always been that way. I just really want to impress her. You will. I certainly hope so. Here we go. Oh, and now she wants to speak to us. We're making friends! Tangent's deep conversation with one of the other scientists. He seems to be consoling her, though Tangent's face betrays no emotion as he claps her on the shoulder and reassures her that she's doing really well for someone so young, and that everyone comprise some of their samples when they were first learning. Compromise some of their samples when they're first learning. He leaves and Tangent sighs as she gets to her head in her hands, stopping short when she realizes she's still wearing gloves. She peels them off and digs her fingers in her eyes. Are you okay? I'm fine. I compromised an experiment I was working on because the vent was still open when I was spraying the workstation down with sanitizer. It was so gross here. I probably did the fungus a favor. Tangent takes a bottle of sanitizer from under her workbench and cleans while she speaks. There are pollen spores everywhere, and he comes over here and tells me it'll be okay, Tange, like his job to console and patronize me. I hate being patronized too. I knew she'd like that. I hate being young. Why don't they understand we have higher expectations for ourselves than they do? I need to learn from my own failures. Tangent's focus. What I don't need is someone to pat me on the head and tell me that it's okay to be okay and that the adults will make it better. I messed up. Just let me fix it. Don't make a big deal about it like I'm an actual child with a boo-boo. +1 if this has the highest value. Tangent. I'm gonna do this one. Mars has asked for the recruit someone new members of the secret fun time. Who approaches about this fun opportunity? Obviously. This will be easy to recruit, you figure. His sister's already in the club after all, right? Wrong guess. No, I have better things to do than be in your stupid club. You insist, but he just shakes his head. You just want someone to make fun of. Go away. Even though you don't manage to recruit him, you can tell Dis is secretly happy that you try to include him. At least you think so. It's okay. It's hard to tell, but you have a strong suspicion. The meeting starts usual, except Mars' foul mood. Seriously, nobody found any more recruits? Do I have to do all the work around here? It's a good thing I convinced Cal and Nemmie to join. She sniffs. What? Like, is it... What? Like, it was hard? Annie can be vice president of kicking stuff. For if we need extra security or like if we need to open doors and can't use our hands. Cal will be the vice president of transportation. That'll be useful if we need to get somewhere fast. Or the only one of us does anyway. He can deliver secret messages too. Mars makes them raise their hands. Do you promise to always be cool kids and do fun stuff together and never tell any adults about the secret Fun Times Club? And they agree. Oh, and it says Nemmie agrees. Sure. At least we... Oh, it's glow. Raised it with her a little bit. It's easier to read in the dark. There's less glare. This is the best season. I don't know what he would like. Okay. Be careful. Now that we know for a fact that it isn't safe out during the glow, I want you to have a venture close to the wall. Stay where I can see you, close to the ship. Okay. I'm gonna come in and do some school. Which one's biology? Yeah, let's do life science. Tangent stopped you on the way. Ophelia, were you heading to life science? Good, I could use the help with something, actually. I'm working with Chief Engineer Instance in the bio lab. If you give me a hand with it, I'm sure she'll give you credit for class. Of course I'll help. Honestly, you just need somebody to label petri dishes and move them from the cooler to the different machine. A hop-eye could do it. Instead of staring unfocused at her hollow eye as she processes the results of the scans, Tange goes and stands beside her, pulling up the scan of her own hollow palm, and they confer quietly while you wait. Sounds like they're studying the shimmer, the mysterious illness some of the colonists get during pollen every year, including your dad. Instance looks up at you as if you noticed your existence. Oh, Ophelia, we've been studying samples of some of the colonists who get sick during pollen, including your dad. Some of the stuff in his lungs, it seems kind of like some kind of fungus. We think the shimmer is a form of reproduction. It's like fungus trying to turn us into more fungus like it. Really neat, actually. Yeah, neat. Or it sounds like The Last of Us. I'm scared. A question mark? You spend the rest of the week helping them study the illness. Most of this involves following the instructions and doing as Tange loves to repeat jobs a hop-eye could do. Nothing beats hands-on experience, though. This would be easier if we could actually sample of the fungus, Instance remarks. They're working with some biological samples, a fancy word for snot, but according to them, the fungus is all mixed with the human cells. Instance has spent most of the time in the virtual Vitter space trying to disconnect the two of them all. Where could you find a sample? Our most useful reports have been from the foragers returning from the Valley of Vertigo, where the pollen is thick all year. They might be a good place to start. Okay, you want me to go there? Nope. Oh. There we go. +1. The two data points from a line, but 3 is a pattern. The colony has been on a high alert all glow, hoping that the creatures from the beyond the wall don't return for the 3rd year in a row. Surveyors keep reporting that they're seeing unusual animal activity even the plants seem different. They say even the plants seem different, they say, and new tracks that must have been left by creatures larger than heavier than you've ever seen. You and the other colonists drill evacuation plans. You're in class when the sirens start to ring. Take a sip of tea to get ready for this. The other kids fall into alert hush. This is one of the assembly points, so you should be safe here. But it wasn't so safe here last year for Professor Howe. What if another creature gets in? Grunts is a new teacher. It is just a face on a computer screen. She can't protect anyone. Congruence flickers carefully. Please stay calm, children. The defense squad is already en route to the creatures. It should be all over soon. I'm leaving. You stand up and leave. Tange and Mar stare at you like you have 3 heads. Congruence doesn't try to stop you. Not that she could. She doesn't have any hands. You slow to a walk as you near the outer doors of the engineering. Something doesn't feel right. You stop to listen to dim emergency lights and hear the metallic popping of something overhead. And the ventilation ducts? Your blood goes cold. Monsters. They're here. You follow the sound of the workshop and force yourself to look up through the slates of the vent. You gasp. 2 glistening bug-like eyes peer down at you. No, 4. 6? They blink in syncopathic pairs. Then you hear it, over the sirens, a soft pinging noise, halfway between the chirp and a purr. The creature skitters spider-like from one side to the vent to the other. A small furry tentacle slithers through the slats, searching for the vent's release. When it can't find one, it bangs its body against the side of the vents, denting the middle. Let's try the combat challenge. 41. $17, $19. This one... This one becomes red, right? Okay. Hey, we won. You grab a long screwdriver and jam it through the slats in the vent. It's an easy kill, like stabbing a fish in a barrel. It slumps out of the duct onto the floor dead. Looking at its body, you feel kind of sad, but not sure why. That was a monster. It could have gotten into the engines and broken things, or worse. It isn't long before the sirens turn off and ringing 3 short pulses, the all's clear message flashes your holopalm. You and the other children file out of engineering and you head back to your quarters. Your parents will want to know that you're safe. Your dad gives you a big hug. Your mom slumps into a seat at your small table. It's like we're going to specifically for geoponics this time, she mutters, but your dad pets your hair and shushes her. I'm sure it was just bad luck, flu bell. Flu bell, he says. But your mom shakes her head and folds her hands in front of her mouth, staring out the porthole window at the fields. I need more animals. I'm gonna do this, and then we're gonna do the one that gives us animals, and then we need to do the persuasion one right now. You join Cal, particularly fatiguing pile of compost. You're trying to use the hoverboard as a wheelbarrow, carefully pushing the compost off the pile. Don't you just love this? Hoverboard? Your hoverboard? Yeah, it's cool. No, I mean just this. He waves his arms, dirt encrusted up the elbows, and takes the entire greenhouse. We've got to help plant stuff and watch it grow. Even if you're just moving dirt around, we're still helping. Why do you like it so much? Well, I like digging holes in the dirt because it's full of surprises down there. I found a worm. Wait, let me see if I can find her again. He sticks his hand to the compost and rummages around, his tongue sticking out of his mouth. I guess she's got away. She was really shiny, like a rainbow. Wait, I just thought of a thing I like better. He shows you his splayed hand. Getting dirt under my fingernails. I don't know why, but it's the best. Isn't it? Is it? There we go. Six toughness. You take the sound of your parents arguing in hushed tones, clearly trying not to disturb you. You blink away the sleep from your eyes, eventually remembering, wait, isn't today your 13th birthday? It was your birthday cuddles. Your parents always make a big deal about your birthday. You peek through the privacy curtain at your bunk and listen to their argument. You're being unreasonable. Oh, no, it's your mom. You're being unreasonable. Ophelia's a teenager now. You have to give her the opportunity to take a calculated risk, or she'll start acting out. That's just what being a teenager is. Going off in the wilderness isn't a calculated risk. It's too dangerous. I think I should. They glance at you. Mom holds up her hands to silence, and you go right back to talking. Graninium, you've said yourself that we need every person out there surveying the edible native plants. You're even going yourself. Why not our daughter? Your dad flails his hands helplessly. Because Flu, she's our daughter. It's our responsibility to keep her safe. You're not keeping anyone safe by coddling her. Ophelia's survival depends on her understanding of this planet we're living on. So you're not doing her or the colony any favors by pretending like that's not the case. I can take care of myself. You're brave, but you aren't stupid. You assure them that you'll stay out of trouble. Your dad's shoulders sag and he shakes his head. You barely even know what's out there, kiddo, he mutters. Your mom's fierce expression softens. Oh, Ophelia, sorry. It's your birthday today. And here we are arguing a pair of assholes. Happy birthday. They both give you a hug. We meant to order up from the canteen and have your usual birthday breakfast, but we got talking about how the Utopia's opened a positions expedition for kids 13 and older. And well, that's you now. I suppose we'll have to let you spread your wings sometime. I just feel better knowing that you were safe inside the colony walls. He gives your mom a faint smile. We decided early on to let you choose your own path in life, so if you want to join expeditions, we're behind you. Just be safe. Yay! Hi, Dad. You find your dad comparing some plant samples. When he sees you, he puts down the test tubes and gives you a big hug. Kiddo, he exclaims, then kneels down and looks at you in the eye. I've been thinking. I want to say I'm sorry your mom and I were arguing on your birthday. We disagree sometimes, just like every couple, but it's unfair that you see how the soy sausage gets made. I was really upset. Your dad faces falls. I know, I'm sorry, Gooseberry. Here, I hear the deep opens now. Go get yourself a piece of candy or something on me. Your mom and I talked it out. We're both just really putting our everything into the farm right now, and it's making us kind of snappy. You don't have to worry about it, okay? If you want to join Utopia's exploration team, just be careful. It's dangerous out there. Ooh, this want to come? Speaking of this... 5 to animals, persuasion. I'm gonna take the persuasion one. And then I'm gonna take the animals one. Okay. I don't know if that's a good thing. They are not cards, right? They're not memories. They're no, they're gear. How do I get this perk? I'm gonna do the persuasion one. I don't know if I wasted my money, but... Have you heard the stories about the changelings? This muses scrolling through the book of the mythology on his holopalm. Old Earth humans used to think that fairies would steal human babies and replace them with their own. He scratches his cheek. Do you think that it happened to me and Tan? I think that would explain a lot. Sometimes I feel like I'm not even really human. Oh, he does. Thank you. Nope, he doesn't like it. Fuck. Kenja's standing still with her face held up to the sky, letting blue snowflakes land on her cheek. They melt almost immediately. She doesn't move as you approach. After a minute, she winces and rubs her eyes. It stings, because it's made of acid. Acid snow? The holonet entry says that isn't harmful. It freezes at 12 degrees Celsius and turns into tiny crystals that are so heavy they fall from the clouds. You can see them under a microscope. She sticks her tongue out and lets some of the flakes fall in it. It tastes kind of sour, but sweet. Fascinating. Hans pulls a sample jar out of her coat. We know what it's made of, but our understanding is incomplete, she says, placing her jar on the outcropping of a rock. The big mushrooms changed in the shape and color before the snow began to fall. I wonder if there's some sort of signal that precedes the change of the seasons. What happens if I expose samples collected in dust season to snow from quiet season? There's so much to learn about this planet. I can't wait. Your brothers so much alike. Yes, we used to get that a lot. I guess it is still true if you think sneaking out of the colony is the same as valid scientific research. He's so dumb. He only cares about feeling, especially his own. Feelings, especially his own. Oh, but this is where we're going. This is where we're going. Let's go! Perception and animals. Bravery and perception. Friends with this. Perception and animals. Oh, we're gonna do this. Survey the plains. When you're boarded the expedition auto bus this morning, you didn't know what to expect. It trundled you and the other surveyors to a few clicks north of the Purasic Plains, a high-fly area with cooler weather than your colony. You could barely control your excitement as you watch the landscape change, and now you're here, and you're finally old enough to be a real survey mission away from the colony. Plaza Cutter. Your chief surveyor at Utopia at the depot. Here's the Plaza Cutter. It's a tool for cutting and heating things. You can use this to make fire, cauterize a wound, boil water, and it cuts some materials pretty alright. You can use it for self-defense too, but I don't suggest it. Cool! Fire. Cool it, sweets. This is a quiet area, and what you're doing is not supposed to be in danger. You're going to be taking notes and pictures and keeping track of all the flora and fauna we see. I just don't touch anything unless I ask you to take a sample. Everything is potentially dangerous. We don't know much about what's out there, which is why we need surveyors, even youngins like you. The Prospect Plains is a sparse region, like you can assume from the name. You can see things from long away. Utopia seems to be squinting on the horizon. And what are you all gonna do if you see something coming for you? Avoid it. Good kid. We don't need any trouble. Just joined you. You must have come on early out of bus. Ah, good you're here. You two greenhorns are with me for the foreseeable. Now we don't gotta sniff each other's butts all the time out here, but I do expect you all to be in yelling distance. Comms can get spotty here. Utopia's hands you surveying drones and shows you how to launch it. It automatically performs local scans on wherever you go, though detailed scans still need to be done manually. When you return here to the depot, it'll upload it its findings to the HoloNet. Your job is to cover ground, see what's out there, and so long as it isn't dangerous, record it. She slaps you on the back. All right, team. Don't get yourself killed out there, okay? Okay. Ooh, pretty. What do you do here? This is where you leave. Okay. Hello. You cross a clearing where you hear a terrible crackling and pounding sound. A massive creature bursts through the trees. A boulder with arms, a bush grown out of its back. A bush bub. Utopia mentioned these before. Part animal, part vegetable, part mineral. They're usually gentle giant, camouflage themselves part of the forest. 48. At least 20 on this. Becomes a social yellow. I want this here. I want this here. It's 16. Still 16. No, I want this. But what if we change this to this? No, okay. So we want $15, $13, $15, $19. That's good. No, this becomes a yellow. No. We won, so that's all that matters. Victorious. No skill changed. The creature pounds past you. Its powerful stone-like gorilla arms smash through the ground. It doesn't even seem to see you. It goes around without even looking at you. You look around, but there's no sign of whatever motivated the bush bub to run so fast. At least that's something to be grateful about, I guess. Some wood over there. There's not much to find out here, but the peaceful atmosphere is great for contemplation. You find a particularly beautiful little plateau where you can see the plain spread out before you like a picnic blanket. Round lakes spotting the land like glimmering mirrors of the sky. Just as scouting further ahead, he was eager to find adventure. Catch up with this. There's no adventure where this is either. There's so much peaceful territory right here. Boring. This. You're boring. Stop. Relax on the wall. Yep, Security Chief Rhett is on the lookout for lookouts. That is for the kids to chill out on top of the wall all afternoon and count xenons. Sounds way better than going to class. He gives you a once-over, his eyes narrowing. All right, you look over there at the end of the field. What does the sign say? Read it out loud. You can read the sign easily. It says, if you can read this, your eyesight is 20/20. Huh, that's a weird sign. What does that mean? Brett nods approving. Good, you pass. Come back next month and I'll put you on the roster. Let's get rid of this one. Don't need the zeros, unless they give you something. It's the pollen season now. Hi, Dad. Your dad was sniffling sneezed pretty bad this morning. He collapsed around the time last year. You've been feeling anxious about his health, especially now that the pollen is back. He's working hard in the fields, respirator hanging from his neck as he grunts and shovels dirt into the wheelbarrow. He sees come standing up straight, coughing a little bit as he stretches. Hey, kiddo, what brings you out here? Dad, you have to wear your respirator. Your dad makes a blah blah motion like this with his hands. I do. Don't look at me like that. I'm just getting some fresh air. It's hard to breathe with that thing on. I'm racing to get these pixie beans in the ground. We're all set to have great harvest in time for Vertumilia. He leans on his shovel, tucking one foot behind the other and rocking back and forth. Truth is, I've been working like a dog. I'd love to get out of here for a while. Hey, what do you say you and I go for a little walk? I know you don't go outside the walls much either, but you could do a little nature walk. I study the plants to forage and bring back. I've never really seen them in the wild. Sounds great. Awesome. I knew you'd pick up what I'm throwing down. Your mom doesn't see the draw. She likes what she can control, you know? But there's a whole planet out there, and I want to go explore. He stops and doubles over suddenly, racking with the coughing fits that makes him unable to speak. He tries a few times to catch his breath, but each one he starts coughing harder. A pink pollen air swirls and eddies around you both. Maybe you should stay indoors. Oh, you're just like the instance, that old stick in the mud. That's me choking on my spit, but that's for him too. I remember when we were younger, she would always walk around with her nose in everyone's business. She always thinks she knows what's best for people. And despite the brave words, he holds on to you for balance as he catches his breath again. Okay, maybe not the best time. But you and me, we have a date to the outside world, kiddo. I'll take a rain check. Whew, I can't wait until the instance figures out the treatment for the shimmer thing. She says maybe next year, maybe one after that. I'm gonna be first in line, I bet. Dad, stop dying. We're gonna do one last one right here, and then win this episode. You're charged with delivering a special package from Administrator Seek to the Chief Engineer. And since the wrapping is so fancy, Seek must have a nano printer that prints handkerchiefs and ribbons specifically for this package. You can't help but stare, but Seek snaps at you to mind your own business and get to work. Yikes, alright. Touchy much? Tange laughs when she sees you in the engineering holding Seek's gift. Again, she says, rolling her eyes. You try to hand her the package, but she looks at it like it's a stack of diamonds. Oh no, I don't want any part of this. Just go through those doors and give it to Instance if you want to ruin everybody's day. I'm opening it. You tear away the pretty wrapping, reveal a small wooden carving. It's smooth and warm, and you can see as the real tools shaped the wood, not a nanoprinter. Seek must have put a lot of time and effort into it. It clears carving of Instance. Her hard expression instantly recognizable, even if the rest of her is naked. Yep, she sure is naked. You quickly cover back up before someone sees you holding a naked lady doll. Something compels you to keep the figurine, even though it has no use to you. It kind of feels nice to steal something just for the sake of stealing, though. It really is stealing if nobody wants it? Oh no, now you're overthinking it. I didn't mean to say steal it. I don't know if there was another option. Here we go. Feeling pretty okay about stuff. Oh, he's out here. Everyone's so dramatic right now. Who cares who said what, who said whatever is so dumb? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, little boy? I don't know how to get more empathy. If I'm being honest. So we get reasoning, engineering, and reasoning, and creativity and persuasion. Who knows? But we're gonna have to end this one here, guys. I hope that you enjoy, because I am enjoying, and I will see you next time. You have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.